very first question Nigerians will ask, each other when they see each other this morning will be, did you charge your phone? Were you able to have your phone charged? Because of what's going on all over the country at the moment. Well, we will be delving into power-related issues this morning and some other issues popping up on the newspapers this morning. I am Favor of Lauren Tola. This is from the dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. As usual, I'll be having my analyst with me, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, and we'll be talking about it. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the very first story you'd see is on the tax reform bills and the framework that is going to check abuses of VAT spending in place, and the saying that the presidency. And there are other stories too that I'll be delving into this morning. And yes, caution on social media as well. What you post and how it may affect you if you're not careful. You just have to stay tuned, and I'll be back. The next voice you'll be hearing will be that of myself and Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokbe. Don't move the dial. Good morning, comrade. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I am. About you.
Hello?
It's our listeners. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Good morning.
And good morning to this sprawling city of Ibadan and Nigeria as a whole.
Well, can you say the same thing to Lagos as a crawling city?
Why? Oh, yeah. Lagos is not just a sprawling city, it's also a bustling city. Sprawling and
Brawling and bustling. Good morning to you. Before we start the program, let me ask you, how well is your gadgets? How well are they charged? Are they fully charged?
Oh, very much. I mean, that comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot afford to be offline for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes with the territory.
Right.
I'm fully armed with various types of power banks.
I was saying that the power banks are a lifesaver.
Yeah, armed with them. I prepared for the fuel increase. You will switch on your generator and charge your phone, but not anymore.
No, you don't.
Charge your power bank. So I bought power banks.
Oh.
I bought power banks. Bought power bank 10,000 ampere for every member of my household. Then bought 30, 20. So you charge them. You recharge your 10,000 ampere from the bigger one. So we're armed.
But it's not everybody that can afford that, and that is why Nigerians are, groaning this morning. I mean,
yes, I got you on that. That's true. That's very much true.
Okay.
That's true.
All right,
that's true.
Let me start with why, let me give you the reason why I asked that question this morning. I mean, it's on all over social media, it's all everywhere that the grid collapsed the 12th time this year. And
my dear comrade sister,
yes.
Even the power minister carries a power bank. Even the power minister carries a power bank.
Oh my God. Okay, so we are always experiencing this. And we've always thought that this is going to get better. Now, I mean, I think it was a few months back that we were all talking about the power grid. We had the power minister come to Ibadan to, explain some things to the media houses. But yet we are not experiencing this change. I think there's this story on the Nation newspaper. I'll read it out very soon concerning how it's going to be improved. But when will this improvement come? This is getting to the end of 2024. We are going to 2025 now. Are we ever going to see that improvement? Let's even start from that.
Well, you see, we didn't get to this current location by sudden flight. It is always a process. You have infrastructure put in place for certain, number of people, for instance, for certain number of houses, for certain number of people. And then when you put that infrastructure in place, it must come with a plan, of a projection that by X number of years, we will be needing additional infrastructure for the projected growth and need. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And you put that plan in place, and you not only put it in place, you implement it at the time that it will be, necessary and effective. But when we put the initial infrastructures in place, we never, probably put a plan in place to improve on it. And if we put a plan in place, we never implemented those plans. Let's go and ask them in the Ministry of Works. All the highways, beautiful highways that have been constructed, are there maintenance contracts with those roads? You understand?
Yeah.
I grew up in an industry that when we deliver our services to them, we almost virtually compel them to sign a maintenance agreement with us, because that makes life easier for us and makes life easier for them. Not until their systems break down or until their systems are damaged, we go and check on them. Because about the expressway, people will park trucks, everybody. Rather than put hazard that rectangle, they start burning stuff on it. Who does the maintenance? So that is the challenge of our infrastructure deficit in Nigeria. That national grid, what is the carrying capacity? There are three parts to power. You generate, you transmit, and you distribute. Distribution is local. You can also distribute, you can also localize transmission. But we have a transmission company or community of Nigeria that is transmitting power in a 1 million square kilometer space. Who does that? That doesn't amount to common sense. And that was on the way we started out. Anyway, we had localized grids. Power was being generated from Elele in Ibadan here with coal from Enugu. We had localized grids. Then suddenly the military came, and the military nationalized. When I say nationalized, they made sure everything was circulating and operating on a national base. National Unity School, the nationalized universities. Universities that they did not set up, they nationalized it. They just nationalize everything. But that is the nature of military command. Everything is in an apex, and power and authority flows from the top. But we have been at democracy for 25 years now. What have we done to decentralize, for easier governance? Look, not until 2023, one of the legacies of the Buhari administration, not until 2023 was the Electricity Act passed to decentralize the generation, transmission, and distribution of power. But how much have we seen? There is a problem with costing. Who will come and invest? Which investor will come at 209 naira?
Well,
which investor will come at 68 naira?
Well, it looks...
Now, when we did telecoms, government did not put any control, and they started from the scratch, and they are doing well. Who bought the discos when they unbundled then the PHCN? Who bought the discos? Who are the people that bought the discos? Do they have the financial muscle and the technical expertise? They just unbundled and sold to themselves, and they continue to collect subsidy from government.
Well, we keep talking about this. You want to know what is being done regarding the power grid. As at this morning, there's a Siemens project, and it's assuring consumers that the national grid would achieve significant stability upon completion of the Presidential Power Initiative PPI pilot stage. And this is what is involved. A major aspect of the pilot phase is installation of 10 power transformers and 10 mobile substations that added to 750 megawatts to the grid capacity. But is this capacity enough
You
to
see,
carry the whole
I'm
of
so-
Nigeria?
you see, I'm surprised as a power minister.
Why?
Because we should be working at decentralization. Yet the man is intent. When you don't get your mandate right, did the president give his specific ministers, did he give them mandate inside his vision? You understand? Power is a critical subsector of the economy. Did they have mandates from the president? You understand? This is your mandate. You're a minister of power. These are your deliverables and these are your timelines. Did they give them mandate? I doubt it. Because everybody's just working in those directions. Rather than encouraging the state, you understand, to develop their own power plants and encouraging them, you understand. The man is still busy installing substations and strengthening the national grid. For who? To achieve what purpose? You understand? Even this this national grid, it is long overdue with decentralized. There is one friend of mine that will say, unbundle Nigeria. Unbundle everything. When we started out, people should not forget that Nigeria is a negotiated union. Our forebears, our nationalists, they negotiated Nigeria. This is the kind of governance we are going to have. Hello?
I can hear you.
This is the kind of governance we are going to have. This is what will work for us. And that is federalism. And it is fiscal federalism. You understand? How many items were the exclusive list in 1960? How many do we have now? Look, they are amending the constitution piecemeal. But I don't think Nigeria can nor will go very far with this current configuration. That is one of the things I guess President Bola Tinubu is doing with probably the tax bills, fiscal reforms and all of that. But some people who are the beneficiaries of the work and skilled arrangements, they're not going to let go easily. But I guess we will have to do what is needful. We don't need one monstrous national grid. And why did the grid collapse again? Of course, you must have noticed that it is because the gas companies stopped supplying gas to the
exactly. There was this okay, I am going to read it out. Okay, yeah. On the Punch newspaper, 2.7 trillion naira debt. Nigerians face blackout as gas producers cut supply to Gencos. This is one of the reasons why it was, it collapsed again.
There is National Electricity Regulation Commission. There is a bulk purchase entity again. What is all that for? Too much regulation sometimes. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Electricity regulation is okay. That one is why is anybody in between those who need gas and those who supply gas? I know what I need. I know what I need, and I know who I want to sell to.
Well,
why is anybody?
Now it's in debt, 2.7 trillion naira debt. It's
That
enough
is
to
why
cut
I'm
it
asking,
off.
That's why I'm asking the question. Why do we have a government agency regulate in between the sellers of gas and the buyers of gas? Is there any one between you and your petrol attendant and your gas supplier? You go there and buy. So that is why they can afford to owe. You understand? You don't pay me, I don't supply you. This is the facility I can offer you. I can offer you 1 billion facility. By the time it reaches 1 billion, you don't pay 250 out of it. I stop supply. And then the issue of metering. You understand? They are enjoying not metering Nigeria because I can come to you even if I don't supply power. Your monthly bill is 50,000 naira. You understand? You owe me 50,000 without supplying power. For me, I have a meter. You don't supply power. You don't get credit for it. So they don't want to meter Nigeria because, and let me tell you, you see, that is why the federal government is insistent on all these national grids. There are many locations nationwide that they don't even have meters, nor do they collect electricity bill from them. You and I have traveled far and wide in Nigeria. You travel, you see villages, hundreds and hundreds of kilometers and they are supply power, but nobody builds them. Rural electrification. Why? What for? If they cannot pay for power in the rural areas, who will pay? Is it we that we are paying, that we have meters, or who will pay? Who will pay? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the gaps. These are the gaps. Some people are, those villages where power is supplied, and you cannot even go there to give them bills. Who pays? And then they now tell us they are subsidizing 750 billion per month. Why? Why? What for? What economic activity is taking place in those places that they are supplying them power?
People need
And
power.
power for free.
People need power.
Free power.
They need power to see, to conduct different
They
activities.
need power to see. Look, who will pay? Who
At
pays
night.
for it? Who now pays for it? Let them install solar and wind power. Solar and wind power
if
there.
power is not necessary, why is wind and solar power necessary in the rural areas, comrade?
Look, the thing is that who pays? Who pays? Who pays? And then they will not start paying subsidy. What is the benefit of the subsidy being paid? What do we get? These are the gaps that should be, that should be filled. Yes, supply them, it is good to light up the villages and all of that. But who pays? Somebody must pay. All that is happening now is as a result of the free lunch. That we have free breakfast and lunch and dinner we have been eating. And nobody was paying. But the bills are being kept. Somebody will have to pay. That is why what we are paying for now. Yes, the language the president has been deploying is not good. I think I remember he said something a few weeks ago that Nigerians were living fake life. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You recall that incident, and people took him up. It's not even up to 2 weeks. No. Yes, it is not a right way to put it, but that is a brutal way of putting it. But a leader does not talk to his people like that. So somebody must pay, and that's what we are paying for now.
So we Nigerians that do pay are paying for what we did not know about. No problem.
Some people sold crude that had not been extracted. They sold it and collected money and spent it. Somebody will pay. Crude still underground. The previous administration sold crude that was underground that had not been extracted. That means they sold the future of Nigeria. Somebody must pay. They say even in Freetown, there's no free lunch. You pay before, during, or after. I think we are paying after now.
Okay, it seems as though lecturers are not even favored. We're talking about power, but on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, lecturers, as it's put, can't fuel their cars. They sleep in offices to cut costs. They ride in tricycles to offices. They sleep, and then the students are saying we bear the brunt of all of this. We are dying. Pay us our living wages. Coming from ASU Konua. I foresee another ASU strike, and I am scared for those in the universities now. We have less than 7 minutes to talk about this.
Well, that tells you, nobody lives in isolation. Yeah, well, most Nigerians live within the system. There are some who live in isolation. They don't even spend the naira. They transact their businesses and individual and business transactions are done in US dollars. So those ones are not, they pay their students' school fees in dollars, they buy stuff, they pay for their apartments in dollars.
Lecturers.
Those are the people that do not live in Nigeria. But lecturers live in Nigeria. No academic professor earns a 500,000 per month, except the medical professors, because that is my constituency. Now, you expect him to write and publish in journals. How can he do that? How much is $100? 170,000 naira.
Less than that now. 150, 1,060, 150 thereabout. It's
okay.
dollar
Let's even
scratched.
call it 100,000.
Okay.
Is that now? They are operating within the same economy, even as their students. They are badly affected. And these are the people that you are expecting to impart knowledge. You know, knowledge is critical. The level of knowledge, we're living in a knowledge-based world now. It is what you know and you can apply. Yet, we do not respect teachers. And I mean teachers from at every level. Kindergarten, primary, second, junior, senior, secondary, and tertiary. We do not respect them. These are the guardians of knowledge, and they are the ones that are imparting, and we are treating them this badly. Any society that wants to move far, go far, they take education as priority. And when you take education as priority, it is by quality. And quality can only be delivered by people who are concentrated on what they are doing. A lecturer that is teaching and thinking of how to feed his family and pay their school fees, he will be looking elsewhere. He will be looking beyond the students. And sometimes he will be looking beyond the imparting knowledge. He will be looking at even extracting money. Go to universities. When they are doing a master's defense now, they cook rice, they supply drinks and food, and even pay their supervisors. Academic community, everything has been debased. We have to review even our curriculum. I think there is even a need for a total overhaul of the education sector for the future. And of course, you know, investment in education does not yield immediately. You invest now, it does not yield immediately. And it is only leaders that think of the future. Politicians think of the next election. What are the people leading us doing? Are they thinking of the next election or thinking of the future? That is a big question.
But let's address this. With this, the way Vanguard captioned it, varsity education in tatters, ASU Konua speaking up. Parents are asking, make the lecturers happy. The students are saying, we bear the brunt. I'm sorry to, direct this question to you. Please answer this in about 2 minutes. Do you think...
Is that what?
I'm coming. Do you think we are going to experience another long ASU strike? Because with what I'm seeing here, I'm beginning to, feel scared for students in the universities. The last one was about 6 months.
Let me make one thing abundantly clear. When ASU was dragged back from that site by an industrial court,
I know by the industrial court.
They lost their morale. They lost their zest. They lost their desire.
But then it keeps affecting students.
They won't go on strike again.
So what do we now expect from lecturers if they won't go on strike?
They just do things casually.
Oh.
They give the list. They just give the list and look elsewhere. They are just become the teaching, research, and community services become secondary. They start looking elsewhere. Yes, they maintain their location, but they are looking elsewhere. And education will suffer badly for that. And the future, by context, will suffer for it.
So
that's why I said our people that are in political and governance offices, are they thinking of the next election or they are thinking of the future? Big question.
I think we'll just leave that as a rhetorical question there because I don't think we can answer that. But I want you to give a lot of us, a sound advice. We have people who claim to be journalists, influencers on social media now, who tend to just pick stories from different angles, post it, and then land themselves in big trouble. From your own perspective.
Before you share, think twice.
Because
in fact, think thrice before you share. Before you share. Because I tell people that if you're on social media, we are walking naked. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
We are walking around naked. So think twice before you share.
Okay. That's a sound advice because
the internet never forgets.
I think we have to leave it at that. I wanted to, dig deeper, especially this Farotimi issue because it's part of the internet, it's part of the freedom of speech, and freedom of after. We know what that means in journalism.
Those freedoms are
Um,
not absolute by any means. Your freedom starts where mine ends. Yours ends where mine starts. No freedom is absolute anywhere in the world. Nowhere is
Nowhere.
our freedoms absolute.
No matter how you think you have the freedom to speak, you have to be careful of what you say.
It must be within the context of the laws of the land. It must always be freedom of association, freedom of this and that. They are within the context of the laws of the land. If those are not available, Yoruba say, and what will result is anarchy. And that is the state of nature, where life is brutish, nasty, and short. We have gone past beyond that.
Okay. A word is enough for the wise. You have to
Yes,
take it.
half a word they say, aboro. Half a word.
It's a pleasure talking to you today. And please keep your power banks charged so that Comrade
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining me
Have
today.
a fruitful day. God bless you.
Yes, thank you very much. I threw that question out because, it's the Christmas season, it's the festive season, and there are a lot of things that we're going to be posting on social media, we'll be saying, and you need to be very careful because, like you said, the internet never forgets. Whatever you say can put you in trouble, at the same time, it can liberate you. So you need to be careful of what you post, what you say, and what you put in writing. That I say thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Favor Olorentola. You definitely join Adidamola Lafenwa tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bye bye.